Welcome everyone to Indie Inquiries, where each episode we review Steam store pages, provide the best marketing advice for your indie game, and give you suggestions on how to improve and best capture that consumer base that you're looking for. If you would like me to tickle your store page for a future episode, please reach out. For this week's talk, we're going to be looking at the store page for Welcome Back, Commander. This is the upcoming game from the developer of Chromosome Evil. We interviewed him on an earlier podcast, and he was interested to hear my thoughts on his next game. So, as always, we're going to be starting things off with looking at the capsule/thumbnail. Now that I know I can kind of zoom in, we can get all nice and big for everyone watching. So, with this thumbnail, I think right off the bat, nothing is really popping for me with it. My eyes immediately drawn to the Welcome Back Commander part because that's kind of the differentiating theme or differentiating color on it. But the actual thumbnail itself, it's not really giving me an idea of what this game is. I see our lovely little monster up here. Again, I like their use of the Lovecraftian themes with these tentacles coming off screen to get whoever that team is. I think, again, with the thumbnail, part of the challenge of this is that nothing is really coming at me in terms of wow. And again, wow for your thumbnail greatly depends on what your game is. For a shooter, it's obviously different than a strategy game, which is obviously different from a visual novel. And I think another kind of problem with this is that the name is not really screaming anything either. Their previous games, Chromosome Evil, I think had a nice little theme, nice little bit of horror to it. This doesn't tell me anything. And even with our description up here, it's still not really saying what this game is going to be about. And unfortunately, that makes it very hard in terms of marketing. So, and again, I'm trying to think about how this could be improved. I think the thing about their previous thumbnails, there's one, I think I like the one that they use for Chromosome Evil 1. Let me see if I can pull that up really fast. This one, if we zoom in here, this was, I think, a really solid thumbnail for this kind of game. We had, again, an actual battle going on. We still had those tentacles happening. And this does a good job of kind of selling the horror, selling the mystery of the game. And we come back over here, this doesn't quite do anything. And I think, again, part of the challenge is just not repeating the same thumbnail for game after game. But, again, what we're going to be trying to look at through the trailer in a minute, this is not giving me an idea about what this game is. And because of that, I think for this grade, I can't give this, I think, an average C. I don't think this is a bad thumbnail, but I don't think it's really selling it. The only two major points that will kind of capture your eye is going to be the Welcome Back, and maybe this demon looking guy in the background. So because of those points, I think in terms of the grade, I'm going to give this, I don't think this deserves a D. I think there's good structure to it, but I can't give it a C either. So I think I'm going to give this a D plus C minus for my grade. And this time I'm making sure to mark things down so that way I don't forget at the end of our little talk here. But with that, let us swap over and look at the trailer. I'm breaking in here because we have a little bit of a mix-up for this in the inquiries. Normally when we review the store pages, we again go through the capsule trailer and work our way down. But for this one, the trailer was not on the store page. It was featured on the YouTube channel. What we first reviewed when we got to it in order was kind of a gameplay teaser or kind of gameplay showcase, which is not a trailer. So I'm going to be kind of cutting the footage of showing the trailer and moving it over here. And now it'll kind of make the title card section a bit out of order, just to let everyone know. And it's a very important point for every one of you watching this. Make sure your trailer is on your store page. Because if I didn't take a look at the YouTube channel, I would have given this page, I think, an F or an F- for not actually having a trailer. So with that, we'll get back to things, and here is the trailer with everything kind of shuffled around.
We interrupt the program with some breaking news.
Let's see,
the city by the name of Sunstone, located near the Deseret area, is now in an emergency state. Apparently, some sort of infection is spreading around, and riots burst out throughout the city, which is uncommon considering the city's peaceful reputation. We have no word from the police, and communications with the city administration have been cut off. This just came in. Martial law has been declared, and the army has been called to establish a quarantine zone around the city. If you are one of the residents from...
Is actually a much better encapsulation of the game. I think like the kind of still image at the end being, I like kind of like the use of the shadow and shading rather than just being more like flat colors here. Now, as another point from that trailer, I like that they're zooming in. I think they could have cut that using footage without showing kind of like tutorial information, like right here. But they show like this like underwater monster just like snatching the character and run away. That is a better trailer than what we saw here, and that should be on the store page. Like, I don't understand why that was not featured on this, because I did tell the developer that. I gave him the date for when I was reviewing this. So, to be fair to the developer, I'm going to amend the trailer grade for, excuse me, for Welcome Back Commander, because the teaser should not be the first image or the first actual record footage on the store page. That 47-second trailer should be on there. For the store page, we're going to amend the trailer grade. Instead of giving it an F-, I'm going to go with the 47-second one. And with that, I think that one was solid. I'm going to give that a... I think it's good. Could be a little bit better. I'm going to give that, I think, an average C as well. And we will take a look at our images. So, off the bat, we can tell these images were not in the trailer. Because we're seeing some new stuff here. So, we have, again, minimum of 5 images is required for this point, and we have 7. Now, this one I think was kind of in the trailer, or at least similar to it. Now, this one was definitely not. And again, like an action scene like this, with like our characters defending up here, we have zombies coming from down there. That is something good for a trailer. Show me our characters, in a fight for survival. Show, gunplay. Show things being killed and exploded and all that. But this is actually a really good screenshot for this kind of game. And we're showing off our gameplay. Also, we have our kind of skill tree, skill customization. More of the gameplay, and this is looking very similar to that of Chromosome Evil 1 and 2. Okay, some general gameplay. We have, looks like a monster, some kind of boss fight down here. And again, for the trailer, this would be something that could fit the trailer itself. That very end of trailer, the punctuation that we talk about. Show our characters running into a room, and then there's a giant monster, and, roaring, and, ominous music. Something, again, to kind of instill that oh my godness to your game that the consumer will remember and will keep them interested in it. And again, some more footage. This one, again, it's kind of hard to make out what they're fighting. You can kind of see a few zombies down there. Not the best image. But the images are definitely better than what we talked about in the trailer, because we're showing off gameplay, and there are elements here that can be used. I like that they did use gameplay or actual, like the GUI elements, the upgrade system, we can kind of see what else there is to this game. So while one screenshot would technically not count, that would be right here. These are all, I would say, decent thumbnails or decent images for this. And again, there are elements here that can be used to cut for a trailer for this game. So, grade-wise, I don't think there's one image here that would actually sell this game. You know, that one amazing one. It's a good collection. And again, this is being aimed at someone who wants to play kind of a RTS, a tactical strategy, some kind of, again, like managing units, managing army kind of game. So, I can't give this a B. I do think these images at least deserve higher than that, or higher than a C. So I think I'm going to give for the images, I think I'm going to give it a C plus. If a few images were maybe cropped a little bit better, so we could see more action, more of the fighting, I think I would give this an easy B minus. But with some of these images just not really, I think, showing things off well, I think I'm going to give this a C plus B minus for this grade. So we have a lot of, like, splits for this store page. And let's get to the About This Game section. I do like they have a Discord, nice little banner right here. So this is the same image that was on the trailer or, you know, long form video. Sorry, Mr. Stereo Play. I think you could have just put this or format so it's like one complete line. We have sections, we have one field military commander, management resources, replayability. And again, still from the trailer. Now, I do like, unlike our last store page, that there are animated GIFs. It does provide a little bit better structure, and again, they have a GIF at the top, GIF at the bottom. The problem, again, is that if we're only going by the trailer, and someone just immediately goes down to this About This Game section, there's still no gameplay. There's still nothing that's actually showing me what we're going to be doing. Again, you're describing it. Squad-based, real-time tactics combat, real-time strategy, that's great. But none of this is showing the player. You want images, you want an animated GIF. Again, if we come back up here, and you look at something like this, with all the zombies, you know, coming at the player, they're charging, they're causing destruction, that could be cut, again, into like a 1 to 3 second GIF. Show me our characters running around. Show me, you know, hunkering down and shooting enemies. Heck, you could even show, like, this kind of giant creature, or, again, show something that is interesting or amazing to your game. Because this, again, is how you convince someone that your game is worth their time. And I am just not seeing that here. Now, this is a better store page than our previous one with Andy, but it's kind of meeting the bare requirement, and that's it. You have structure, you have this kind of formatting with story, gameplay, replayability, but it's still messing up on that one important point. How do you sell this, or what is the selling point of this to the player? So, because of that, I think I don't want to give this like a really low grade, because you have the structure, you have like the basics here. What's missing again is the pop, is that reason to check this game out. So I'm going to give this, I think, the gentleman's C. It meets, basically, it checks off the boxes. For your store page, it's not bad, but it's not good or great either. A few more GIFs, a few more just action shots, something again to show this player some amazing gameplay could easily bring this up into the B tier. Because again, you have the structure, you're just missing, again, the sizzle of it. So let's go to our title card. So, much like our last game, again, you want to have at minimum 3 genre tags. The 2 tags here do work really well. Simulation, strategy. Don't know if, excuse me, if RPG could fit, or because you, again, have leveling up, you have customization, but you are missing the gimme of single player. But these are still really great ones. Now, we have a website, we have Discord, we have social media. This is good. And as another point, this, and you can see they're using it here as well, like this kind of use of shadow, this kind of use of lighting may look more ominous, that I think is also a better art for the thumbnail as well. So again, like, the pieces are here. I think that's going to be the theme for the store page review. The pieces are here to have a really solid store page. They need to be, I think, better fitted. And I even like that, again, like, the use of the more ominous text here works better than this. Because again, you have to make use of everything that you have if you want to convince someone to play your game. So we come back over here. It's a good thing we looked at the YouTube channel. Again, this is why you should include your social media links, your channel, etc. on this title card. Because if we didn't see that, this would have gotten a far harsher grade overall. Still not going to be high, as you can tell by our averages. But again, there is potential here. So, for the title card, for our grade, you have 2 really good tags. You're missing, again, the gimme of single player. You have social media contacts. That's good. So, I'm going to give it, because you're missing, again, like the gimme genre tag. Again, the genre tags are for Steam's purpose, not for the consumer. But you definitely go above and beyond in terms of the social media. I'm going to give the title card, I'm going to give it a B-B for it. If they had everything on, it would go a little bit higher. I would have liked more footage on the YouTube channel as well, but this this is definitely going to be, I think, really solid in terms of the title card. And again, why you want to have all your social media stuff in check for your game. But there is a very important point to mention with this. The average consumer is not going to be doing detective work like I am. They're going to look at what's on your store page, you're going to see what's considered your trailer, and that's it. And this is why you need to get this stuff in check. So, for our final grade, if we look at everything here, counting the revised trailer grade, I gave it an average C. The lowest grade I have this at is a D plus C minus for the thumbnail. This is a very unusual store page because, again, there are some really good pieces for it, but they're not all being represented. The highest grade I gave this was a B minus B for the other point. So, I don't think there's enough here to make it go up, but there's definitely not, or it's not damning enough to make it go down from the trailer. So, I think with that, for my overall final grade, I think this just gets an average C. But again, there is potential here to score so much higher. First off, get that trailer that's on YouTube, get it on the store page. There is no reason why you don't have that. And especially if you're starting to market this game. I don't know if they're actively marketing this game on social media yet, but if they are, that trailer needs to be on this page. And more importantly, try to improve a little bit on that editing. I like that they did zoom in, they did edit the footage, but try not to show like tutorial elements on it, because one thing, they're cut off, and it does kind of hurt the quality of it. Again, have that kind of huge punctuation moment for the trailer. I would also improve this thumbnail. You have a far better, far more ominous concept with this art that's down there, so definitely use that. For our images here, I think these images are good. Again, add a few more that were not in the trailer or in your teaser, and again, get some better action shots, and you have that. And for this About This Game section, again, the function or the structure is solid, but sell me more on this game. Show me some more GIFs. Show me, again, anything that makes this game exciting. And like I said at the start of this review, exciting greatly differs based on what your game is. As we talk about with Business Heroes, excitement in that is watching money come in, watching people buy burgers and drinks or buy soda. For a game like this, I'm sure excitement would be watching a giant monster come on and just like kill 3 of your guys, or zombies breaking in, or watching people go pew pew all over the place. So this, and I think this is an important store page review for any developers, especially if you're new or a student watching this. Because you may be sitting here thinking to yourself, but Josh said that everything on the store page works, that it's all, fitting within that structure. So why isn't the grade higher? Because if you want to sell someone on your indie game, you have to make things pop. It's not enough to have a structured thumbnail or a structured About This Game section. You need to be able to convince someone that your game is worth their time. Because if you don't do that, they're not going to check this out. And if they don't check this out, Steam is not going to recommend this game to other people. And if they don't do that, then you're not going to get sales, as we all know. So to wrap things up, and again, I'm trying to hammer this point home, not just for the developer who I'm sure is watching this, but to any other indie developers as well. The pieces are here, but you need to arrange them better. Just remember, again, the one question you need to be asking: why should someone care about my game? What is going to make my game special or different or unique? Because that's what you want to punctuate throughout your store page. As we've said with previous high examples, if I'm building an action game, I want to show off-the-wall GIFs. I want to show characters, being comboed and knocked into the air, and then you follow up in the air and then slam them down Devil May Cry style. If I'm playing a strategy game, I want to see armies duking it out. I want to see, gameplay of me making important decisions. I want to see, again, what am I doing in this game? And again, if you don't have an answer for that with your store page, with your marketing, etc., the consumer is not going to do the work for you. As I've said, most people are not going to be clicking on this stuff down here. But for the people who do, they're the ones who are going to be interested in your game. If I didn't click on the YouTube channel to check to see how it was, we would have never have seen that trailer. And if it's not on your store page, and if it's not in your marketing, then it doesn't really exist for anyone else. So, we're going to wrap things up here for the store page review. Again, if you would like me to do a review of your store page, because we have done those as well, please reach out. And if you want me to do your store page and take it apart, like one of these Lovecraftian monsters we saw in the trailer, please reach out as well. But thank you so much for watching. If you have any thoughts for a developer, let them know in the comments down below. And again, keep things civil. We don't need to be attacking anyone as well. But thanks again for watching, and come back for daily discussions on game design here, and on game wisdom, where you examine the art and science of games. Until our next video, have a great night. Thanks for watching, and a special thank you to our Patreon supporters. If you enjoyed the video, do the YouTubing stuff, be sure to visit our Discord and Patreon, and you're interested in more in my thoughts on design, check out my game design books.